Time now for some sports news. Equatorial Guinea have been fined $100,000 for the crowd trouble that marred Thursday's Africa Cup of Nations semi-final against Ghana. Now, several Ghanaian fans were injured after home supporters attacked them with less than 10 minutes to the end of that game. Well, the game was only restarted after a 35-minute delay as anti-riot police were forced to evacuate fans from the stadium. CAF announced it will allow for a third-place match between Equatorial Guinea and Congo DR to be played with fans to promote fair play and brotherhood. Now, things have gone from bad to worse for Morocco as they have been banned from the next two editions of the African Nations Cup after failing to host this year's tournament. CAF also fined the North African country $1 million after they withdrew because of concerns over the spread of the Ebola virus disease. Morocco will also pay $9.2 million in damages. Morocco pulled out towards the end of last year and were expelled from the tournament, with Equatorial Guinea stepping in as host nation. This decision means Morocco will face a lengthy exile from continental football. Manchester City manager Manuel Pellegrini has handed Stevan Jovetic hope after his UEFA Champions League snub. The Montenegro striker has been discarded from City's European squad to provide room for new arrival Wilfried Bony, the Ivorian. But Pellegrini insists the £25 million signing of Côte d'Ivoire of the Ivorian star, that's Wilfried Bony, doesn't spell the end of Jovetic's time at the Etihad Stadium.
Well, always it's difficult to take a player out of the list, but we have restrictions this year. We brought Bony because I think that we need another striker, as a box player, and in the position of Jovetic, maybe we have another option. I repeat, it's a difficult decision, but I think that was the best for the squad. I don't think that one thing has relation or is linked with the other thing. I think it's very important for Stefan to try to play now till the end of the season, to try to play as much game as he can, not to be injured, and try to have a high performance every time he plays. After the season, we analyze not only for Stefan, for all the squad, which will continue the next year. So I don't think that one thing has any relation with the other one.
Good news for British tennis star Andy Murray, talking about his fans. Well, he is to marry his fiancée, that's Kim Sears, on April the 11th this year. Now, Murray's own hotel, that's Cromlix House, will host the wedding. The announcement of the venue comes after the former Wimbledon and US Open champion bought Cromlix House for £1.8 million in 2013. Back in 2010, the venue hosted the wedding of Jamie Murray and his brother and Alejandra Gutierrez. Murray and Sears are understood to want a low-key private wedding without any magazine deals. Only close friends and family are believed to be attending the event. Murray and Sears, who are both 27 years old, have been together for around 10 years and finally got engaged last November. And that's in the sports news. The news at 10 continues shortly.
Thanks a lot, Ayotunde. Now, reports reaching us say the Department of State Security has allegedly arrested the former governor of Bayelsa State, Timipre Silva. Men of the DSS allegedly brought Mr. Silva in for questioning in Abuja, but the reason for the arrest remains unclear. The National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, Lai Mohammed, corroborated the story and promised to release a statement concerning the matter in due course. But efforts to reach the DSS spokesperson, Marilyn Oga, to confirm the incident were unsuccessful. Now, President Goodluck Jonathan is worshipping at the Redeemed Christian Church of God Holy Ghost campground at the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The president, who arrived at the camp this evening, thanked the general overseer of the church, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, and the entire congregation for their constant prayers for the country. He said that every nation passes through the challenge of extremism, but the government is working hard to maintain peace. President Jonathan asked the RCCG to continue to pray for peace in the land, and he said that only God can declare the next leaders of the country. We move over to the foreign scene, and investigators have confirmed that the black box data from the Trans-Asia airplane that crashed in Taiwan has revealed that power was cut to both engines. Taiwan's Aviation Safety Council said the engines failed to produce enough thrust for 2 minutes after takeoff. Here's Cynthia Are with more.
Well, thanks a lot. Data suggests that the flight crew tried to stop and restart one of the engines without success. Flight GE235 carried 58 passengers and crew, at least 35 of whom died when the plane crashed into a river. 15 people survived the crash. Then French President François Hollande and German Chancellor Angela Merkel are due to hold talks in Moscow to try to end escalating fighting in East Ukraine. Ahead of their talks, the U.S. Vice President Joe Biden accused Russia of continuing to escalate the conflict and ignoring every agreement. A temporary truce has reportedly begun to allow civilians to leave Debaltseve, at the heart of the current fighting. Also today, thousands of people are marching in Jordan's capital, Amman, in support of their government's fight against the Islamic State militants. Jordan says its warplanes carried out dozens of airstrikes on Islamic State targets in Syria on Thursday in response to the killing of a Jordanian fighter pilot. The country's foreign minister said it was upping the ante against ISIS. Finally, Boko Haram attacked a town in Niger for the very first time, and the attack on the border town of Bosso was the group's second on a neighboring country in as many days. The militants reportedly killed at least 70 people in an attack on the town of Fotokol in Cameroon just yesterday. The insurgency has left thousands of people dead. The foreign news wrap-up, it's back to you now.
Thanks a lot, Cynthia. Now, on entertainment news tonight, organizers of Dawn in the Creeks have officially launched Season 2 of the reality TV show. And here's Mayowa Ogundele with the details.
Well, thank you very much. On entertainment news tonight, the second installment of the American government-supported film project, Dawn in the Creeks, is set to commence. This second installment, which followed a team of filmmakers' internal election processes, echoes the importance of youth participation in the forthcoming general elections.
The event started with a recap of the first season of Dawn in the Creeks, a reality show aimed at changing the story in the Niger Delta. Then a preview of the second season of the show.
I heard some of the most amazing speeches in the last 10 years from my people right there.
The show's host, Andre Blaise Henshaw, believes that with the achievement recorded in the Niger Delta region, things can become better.
In season 1 of Dawn in the Creeks, we found 21 filmmakers from 3 communities in the Niger Delta. In season 2, they have to make movies which are centered around real-life stories in their own communities. In season 2, they are not just going to be social entrepreneurs because they make a living off the skills that they've acquired. They also have to become active advocates for peace in their communities, and they have done that.
The Nollywood stars are not working alone. Like the first season, they're supported by the United States government. The American Consul General, Jeffrey Hawkins, explains that the United States is determined to see the success of the project because of its partnership with Nigeria.
The Niger Delta is a really key part of this country. And if that part of this country doesn't succeed, it's hard to imagine a Nigeria in totality that's going to succeed. And so we focused on that. And we thought it was worth an investment in an exercise like this, just to try and have people from the Delta, like Andre, talk to other people from the Delta, young people, and provide them with an alternative vision of what their region could be. And we thought that was worthwhile.
Taking a cue from the first season, this second season of the show may well provide Nigerians with vital lessons, especially with the general elections just around the corner.
Well, that's it on entertainment news. The main news continues right after this.
Thanks a lot, Mayowa. And the main news again. The Osun State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal has affirmed the election of Governor Rauf Aregbesola and ruled that the PDP candidate, Iola Omishore, failed to prove his allegation of malpractice in the poll. But counsel to Mr. Omishore has said that he will appeal. Well, that's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Onyato. Coming up next is Metrofile. Do have a wonderful weekend. Goodbye.